Sorry, I'm looking at... Really? Sorry. Okay, so I was mentioning the Wicklow thing, and I saw a video about from Salty Mike, who's usually very salty. Maybe over... I don't know. I mean... I don't watch Salty Mike too much. I mean, he is Salty Mike. Like, there's a assumption about the kind of outlook he has. Seems like a cool guy, though. But it's like, oh, they fixed their barter system. And, it's kind of... If I see Salty Mike be like, oh, look, they fixed their barter system, they're gonna be deterministic, and then it's like, but what? But, like, you need 50 irradiated, but you need to run Stormbreaker multiple times to get a cargo ship that you can just buy for, like, you know, I don't know, it's probably, well, what, it was, the example I had said was that some of these ships you can buy for under 15 million credits, but the credit value of of all of the resources you need to get it from Wicklow or can be like 50 million or whatever. Yeah. Like, they don't know how to balance their thing. And it's like that's the thing with CIG, that just like, they're like, okay, so why is Wicklow the way Wicklow is with the mission system and doesn't have like their own trade terminal? And it's like, well, because it would take programming resources, it would take programmers to make that resources, to make that trade system, and they just don't have the resources to do that right now. So they you know, worked with what they got. And I mean, yeah, it needed programmers to do stuff, but it's basically just a modification of their mission system. Or, well, the mission system is like the front end of it, I guess, I don't know. But, you know, it was cheaper to do it this way. Is my understanding, and yeah, so it was cheaper to do it that way. And yeah, but why did they do the RNG? They did not have to do the RNG. Like, did they look at it and were like, oh, hey, we want you to be able to do this. We want you to be able to do the thing with the stuff in the thing. We don't want the mission menu to be just clogged with stuff, and I don't think that is what their thought process was. I don't know why. I mean, part of me is like, it has to be the pessimistic, critical, like they just wanted to see if they could get away with RNG mechanics. And then when people were like, this is bullshit, I fucking hate this entire thing they did, this, like, literally the fact that it's RNG for a lot of this stuff just literally has ruined this entire thing for me. I don't want to interact with this at all. And they're like, so Wicklow's like, we tie the events or the activities that we're doing, we tie them back in with Wicklow, and that's like how we get the gameplay. So if people don't like the gameplay, then that's a problem. And that's like, because like RNG isn't necessarily bad, just like, you know, it's the amount of grind that it takes to get the amount of grind that it takes to get the Wicklow stuff, you know, like, is ridiculous. Like, the stuff that's in 4.2 / the old stuff, like, that would be fine. If it was, hey, I need, the favors, I need Wicklow favors, and, you know, like, depending on the ship, like, oh, if it's a cargo ship, then I need some commodities. If it's a combat ship, then I need you to do some, the ace helmet pilots. The ace pilot helmets. Pilot helmet aces. You know, and if it's a, you know, if it's a salvage ship, then I need some RMC. If it's a, you know, whatever, then, you know, trying to tie it in with things and not make it ludicrous. And I mean, like, to some degree, I mean, yeah, like, oh, if you want a combat ship, then you need to go and do some combat, and that might, like, maybe you need to give a military component that you only find on military ships, doing combat missions, or enemy combat ships. You know what I mean? Like, there's better ways to balance that system, and I, like, if I were looking at it, there would be, and there are better ways to tie it in with, like, oh, we want people running Stormbreaker. Okay, so, like, yeah, I mean, if there's a large ship, if there's, like, a capital ship, if 50 Valkar Pearls might be reasonable for a Wicklow variant Carrack or an 890, that would probably be fair. You know, maybe 5 Valkar Pearls for a you know, for a regular cargo ship, since, you know, it's the thing drops 15 or whatever. You know, like, so you don't have to run it multiple times for a medium ship. That just, ugh. Until next time, have a good day. Great day even. Chowskis.